Starting this fine day at about 10 degrees Celsius tonight. And of course, it will be up to um, about 18 degrees. And tomorrow will be a little about the same thing, but maybe a little bit warmer. And coming over the next few days, it's going to be kind of a grab bag of temperatures, not necessarily too steamy, not too freezing cold. So kind of like more what you would expect for late autumn than early autumn. But things will, of course, change as we get closer to Yule this year. Um, Now, I did my video on backups, and I don't know how many people actually liked it. I know I had a couple comical words in there, which it's because I like to have fun too. I'm not always serious. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. I try to be kind of balanced the two, the yin and the yang thing. So it's not like I was trying to be a dry, boring university professor giving a lecture, but not trying to be so, slap happy. You couldn't take any seriousness when I was trying to point out. And sometimes that's a fine line. Today I didn't get a chance to discuss my last opinion of last week's episode of Disaster Castle, so I thought I would take a brief moment to let you know what I thought about the show overall. Overall, I thought the show was very good. I'm glad that Brent Sr. did not dismiss the fact that his windows are too big, on the first floor especially. And he decided, as was his intention from the beginning, I suppose, to have these big, large shutters to cover the windows to protect against marauders. With the help of his son, Brent Jr., or Brent II, he calls himself Brent II, he was able to not only fix the windows, but fix his relationship with his son too in a positive way. So I think it was a wonderful TV show so far. And as of course, we'll be having a new episode tonight. I'm not sure which it's about this time, but there was a lot of interesting things. We're starting to see some of the dynamics and the emotional nature of the family, which I think is kind of cool. I also, Brent Sr. loves gas. He's got gas lights on in the castle itself. He has open jet flare lights, which are basically predecessors to the Wabash mantle fixtures, which basically means you got a very fine hole in a pipe at basically just enough gas to mix with air, and you get a good nice fire. It seems to be that he's a gas freak. I don't know where he's keeping all his propane, because I know there's no natural gas in that location that they're in. We saw in the beginning of the first episode that there was a propane tank in the basement, which anybody from the fire department in the state of Connecticut will tell you is illegal, especially since that was no 5-pound tank. So obviously that's providing the gas for the gas fixtures. But that's a safety consideration that needs to be considered, that you cannot legally have any more than really a 1 pound propane tank inside of a living home or a domicile for fire safety reasons. So, but I guess since he doesn't rent and it's his own building, he basically can make the rules. Okay, just remember something that Yosemite Sam said to the dragging and singing sword: don't sneeze or you'll blow us all to the moon. Serious, okay? But that was that was an observation from the very first episode of Doomsday Castle, but it still makes me think about safety. Speaking of safety, of course, I began the process of getting ready for the season of Mabon. We'll be celebrating that on the 22nd of September of this year. That is the beginning of autumn. And in such celebrations, of course, we've already started closing the windows and sealing up the house for the our apartment for the winter months. And also, of course, I have a Section 8 inspection coming up in October 27th, 2013. So there's a lot of things I had to do. Clean the house is one of them. Roll up the extension cords for the air conditioner is the other. Try to organize the rec room. Try to put the stuff in a way that's nice and tidy. I cleaned up the wiring closet in the rec room because that wiring closet where we keep all the extra cables was just like really, really forked. The phone and the phone cord, one of the phones needs to be replaced because it's battered, it's beat, so I have to record out. I'm gonna get a new one. New 8 conductor cord, just regular little category 5E will do fine. And because it uses RJ45 plugs. So we've been using Ethernet cable for our phones for the Merlin 2 system for a long time. So it's just a lot cheaper than buying the lower quality category 3, which is what the Merlin 2 was designed for. The category 5 just plugs right in and it works good. It gives better shielding too. That's just a plus. Now, I have to tell you that I did some research into Niecy Nash yesterday because I do like Niecy Nash. And she had a TV show for a while on the TLC called Leave It to Niecy. I got a chance to watch 2 episodes of it last night on YouTube. That wasn't bad, but I think she was more funny, clean, sweep on style than she was in her own TV show. And I also had a chance to see the newer clean house after she had left. Another nice lady, but clearly it's a different style person, and she's not quite as funny. So I think that there's a lot of things to be said. That sometimes when one of your lead characters is replaced, it wasn't just her that was replaced. Mark Brunetz was not there either. The other lady there wasn't there either. Some other people. It was kind of alright. And if they had some of the original, some of the original crew there, it may have made a difference. Clean sweep. The episode I watched was about a rock band for a place called I don't know the name of the rock band. I was cleaning this guy's house, he was Zimmer's house, and it really kind of was. I just didn't. I'm sorry, I just couldn't wrap my head around the episode for some reason. Maybe because all the bleeping out, bleep, 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 but that's how vocal they were in the video. That they just kept bleeping it out every 5 seconds. I mean, I like to watch my show. Okay, I don't like the F-bomb, but honestly, if you're gonna have the F-bomb in there, at least let it be in there. Okay, don't start editing it out, and because that kind of makes it kind of suck. All right, because it kind of. Or at least change the bleep tone to something a little bit softer. Maybe soft beep. You don't have to make it so straight beep. You know what I'm saying? But the same thing that applies to all television shows, not just that one. Because I understand that even with YouTube, there is concerns about censorship. I used the F-bomb in one of my videos, and one of my friends get offended. And I said, well, you know what? I'm not normally a person that uses the F-bomb a lot, but I'm upset about something, I'm stressed out, I'm gonna use it. It doesn't matter. If you're telling me to censor my own mouth, I said, well, I'll try, but sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. So you have to understand that. I try to be a clean, upright person, but I'm just as human as everybody else. So we have feelings and concerns and thoughts too. Anyway, so tonight, of course, we'll be Doomsday Castle tonight at 10 o'clock on National Geographic Channel 186 on Dish Network, and at 10 o'clock. And it was prior to that will be Doomsday Preppers. That's a show I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Doomsday Preppers. I won't go into that right now because this is running long enough. But just to say that sometimes the Doomsday Prepper episodes are good, sometimes they suck. Okay? Also, by the way, speaking of suck, this is, they say that the sales of Apple's new 5S and 5C suck. Oh, excuse me, guys. Come here for a second. Pow! Look, here's a secret. You want to talk about suck? Yeah, you guys, I talked about this in one of my other videos. I'm going to just say briefly. Apple, you're not thinking about what the consumers want. Okay? The reason why your 5S and 5C suck is because you guys have lost your target market. You're looking for the top dollar markets. That's great. But do you ever consider that some of those top dollar market people have got older Power Macs? At least give us the iTunes 5 or iTunes 11 for the Power Mac, Power PC, G4, G5s, and then we can at least consider buying a phone. All right? If you want our sales, you gotta earn our sales. All right? There. Enough said. So Apple, get off your laurels. Get your development team to port iTunes 11 to the Power Mac G5, and then we will talk about possibly buying your product. Until then, I'm afraid it's not going to happen. Okay, honey? You're going to have to get used to that fact. It's just not going to happen. Also, of course, I'm waiting. I'm going to be getting my tape drive next month. I know I mentioned a couple different tape methods. I made a couple type of speakos yesterday when doing the math about the reams of paper. But trust me, a gigabyte is not 100,000 kilobytes. It is let me see what it's right here. It is a million bytes. Is a gigabyte. So that would be closer to 100,000 million reams of paper, something like that. So it's an astronomical amount of paper. You cannot even visualize that. I just can't. Okay, but 100,000 million pieces of paper. I still cannot visualize it in my honest to God opinion of how much that is. Okay. The tape machine I'm buying, by the way, is one of several under consideration. This first one is these are both made by Tandberg. The first one is a TDC 4220, which is a 4 gigabyte native, 8 gigabyte compressed SLR4 tape drive. And the other one that's under consideration is a little bit newer, but not much of an improvement. It's a SLR5 tape backup drive. So that will give us the ability to hold about 4 gigabytes of uncompressed data out of cartridge, which is why I used the 4 gigabyte number a lot last night. Or about 1 DVD's worth of information for a single layer disc. It's not because I'm a cheapskate. I am a cheapskate, okay? But I'm talking about for another reason, which is that I chose to use that medium because it will read my older data cartridges, the old